Communication technicians are required to work near commercial power sources that can reach levels of hundreds of kilovolts. All of us know that these voltage levels are extremely hazardous and that we must avoid contact with any of them. Lower voltages can be just as dangerous because we are exposed to them more often and may not respect what they can do to us. Today, you will be shown the foreign voltage detector, or FVD. With the FVD, metallic contact is not required. Detection through painted surfaces and wire insulation is now an easy task. Let's take a closer look at the FVD. The FVD has only one operational control, the power switch, which is located under the decal on the FVD face. You will notice that it's marked by a large black dot. To turn on the FVD, simply press and hold the power switch. The FVD turns off automatically when the switch is released. There are 3 indicators on the FVD. The first is a 10-step red LED bar graph for displaying AC voltage. The second is an audible alarm, which warns the technician that the voltage is greater than 50 volts AC. The third is a green LED power indicator just below the bar graph display. The first indicator is the red LED bar graph display, which is located near the probe end of the FVD. This display indicates the approximate level of the AC voltage detected. The FVD detects AC voltage only, not DC voltage. The FVD is not intended to be a precision measuring device. Its precision is limited by the resolution within the steps, as well as the distance between the probe tip and the source, and the physical size of the source conductor. When all 10 bars are illuminated, the voltage detected by the FVD is greater than 200 volts AC. The FVD is calibrated so that the alarm will activate at 50 volts when the tip of the probe is against an energized source that is equivalent to a pair of 22-gauge insulated conductors. When the 6th step of the bar graph is activated, 50 volts of AC have been detected. Along with the 6th bar graph step, the second indicator, an audible alarm, will also be activated. The audible alarm remains active as long as more than 50 volts AC are detected. The third indicator is the green LED located just below the bar graph window. This LED doubles as a power on indicator and a battery condition indicator. With a good battery, the LED will remain illuminated anytime the power switch is depressed. If the green LED does not illuminate, the battery must be replaced before use. To change the battery, first locate the small slot in the battery cover on the back side of the FVD. Using a small screwdriver, simply pry the cover out. Replace the battery with a good quality 9-volt alkaline battery, reinstall the cover, and the FVD is ready to use. Test the FVD on a 193A test plug when you receive it, and then once a month thereafter. To begin testing with the FVD, turn it on a few feet away from the object to be tested. When all of the bar graph steps deactivate and the green LED illuminates, point the probe toward the object and slowly move toward it with your hand holding the FVD extended out from your body. Continue toward the object to be tested until the probe tip touches the object. If the alarm sounds, more than 50 volts have been detected, and you must follow your company's safety practice. The FVD can detect AC voltage only. You must always look for indications of high current, such as discoloration, excessive heat, smoke, etc. Here is an example of a high current, low voltage condition as shown by the smoking nid. Note that any facility such as this mobile home, a metal building, metal conduit, virtually any conductive surface that should be grounded should not read any AC voltage. If any AC voltage is detected, the grounding of the facility should be suspect. This metal building has been purposely energized, as could happen in the case of a power fault within the structure. Notice when this metallic conduit is tested with the FVD, it appears to be energized. Now, watch what happens when the conduit is grounded. Note that no power is detected. In this case, the conduit was energized by the power conductors inside until it was grounded. This energy was coupled to the conduit through the capacitance between the conduit and the power conductors. As you saw, the grounded conduit effectively shielded the power from being detected. It is important to understand that shielded power conductors cannot be detected by the FVD. Conductive objects can become energized from nearby power lines by the following four methods: direct power contact, electromagnetic induction, ground potential rise, and capacitive coupling or electric field. The technician may become energized from the electric field or E field in the vicinity of power lines or under power distribution lines. The E field surrounds the wires and can encompass large areas. Ungrounded objects within this E field will accumulate a voltage charge with very little current and may cause the FVD to indicate a hazardous condition when one does not exist. To determine if this condition is actually causing a hazardous voltage indication, the technician should provide a temporary path to ground for his or her body in order to remove the voltage charge caused by the E field from the power line. The recommended method of grounding the technician is to attach a W1BU retractable ground cord to a screwdriver that is inserted into the ground. The technician either holds the other end of the W1BU cord or attaches the W1BU cord to a conductive cap, which is placed on the non-probe end of the FVD. The technician's hand must maintain contact with the conductive cap while testing. The technician then repeats the test with the FVD. The presence of this electric field is demonstrated by standing under 230 kV power transmission lines with the FVD indicating hazardous voltage. As you move the FVD closer to a grounded object, such as this pedestal, the voltage from the E field collapses. As we move the FVD away from the pedestal, the voltage increases. When working aloft, a technician can make use of the shielding effect of the cable or strand being tested. As seen earlier, a grounded conductor will shield a technician from being coupled to an electric field. Keeping this in mind, you should always approach the cable or strand to be tested from below. The cable or strand will serve as a shield for the technician. Note that when testing from the side, the technician is not shielded from the E field by the cable or strand. Observe what happens when the technician grounds himself while testing this strand. Now the test will be repeated using the conductive cap. Remember, if the voltage is greater than 50 volts with the technician grounded, the object being tested should be considered hazardous. This C-wire is not in service and the ring and tip are not terminated to the CO or RT. When the technician tests the C-wire, the FVD indicates over 200 volts AC. Make a visual inspection of the C-wire to determine that no physical hazards exist. Then place a temporary bond and retest. The voltage disappears when the C-wire is grounded. The voltage on the C-wire was caused by the E field. If the C-wire had been terminated, the voltage from the E field would have been eliminated. Always follow your company's safety practice when placing or removing temporary or permanent bonds. When testing a device that is cyclic in nature, such as a traffic light support strand, the technician should always test through at least one complete cycle. This will avoid missing detection of a fault that may occur on a single phase of the cycle. The FVD should be used in any situation where a conductor or object could be energized. Here are some situations where the FVD should be used in our industry, but these are not all of the situations. MGNVs, protector grounds, down guys, pedestals, terminals, insulated cable pairs, binding post terminal lugs, insulated cable, drop service wires, inside wires, mobile homes, power supplies, and newly driven ground rods. These are just a few of the situations you may encounter where you need to use the FVD. If it's in your workspace, test. In summary, the FVD has been designed to overcome many of the limitations of previous test sets. The small size and ease of operation make it a very useful tool. However, no tool can be of any value if it's not used. Keep the FVD with you and use it at every opportunity you have.